Now, this function is the first of a series of activities to mark the celebrations, to commemorate the activities as I've enumerated. Taking them in chronological order, the 6th of February was exactly, today was exactly 150 years ago when British forces under Sagrenti invaded Kumasi, looted the palace of precious regalia, and completely burnt Kumasi down, and left the town smoldering after their invasion. This morning, he has never relented in pursuing this mission and has been knocking the doors of the British establishment with a view to getting them to return their regalia. By a happy coincidence, the British finally have answered our prayers, albeit in some veiled way that half a loaf, they say, is better than none. However, some of the regalia which were taken to the U.S. are here and going to be here until time and circumstances shall be no more. So, as I said, the jewel in the crown of the celebration will be, first and foremost, the return of the regalia from the U.S. From America, which will be handed over to Otumfuo the day after tomorrow, on Thursday, at the Kutukudi Deba. And then the return of the regalia at the British Museum and at the British Victoria and Albert Museum on the Akweside Deba, which is slated for the 12th of May. We hope that even if it's a loan, to be a permanent loan to us. As I said earlier, we have two functions this morning. One is a symposium, and the other is the launching of the book on the history of Asante. As you all know, before the written word was introduced into our education system or into our culture, the mode of transmitting our history, our values, our culture, and our morals and other things was through the spoken word. In the evening, the old men would assemble the young ones and then tell them about the world of old, our customs, our traditions, their games, and other things. So it was compulsory for children to attend to these calls. Hence, we coined the word Tite Asum. It has been corrupted to Tite Kaso, but it means Tite Asum. That is the past precise in the years. However, with the introduction of the written word and calligraphy, the year became less receptive to Tite, and therefore new modes had to be introduced to maintain and retain our history and to transmit it from one generation to the other. We were fortunate to have Otumfuo Osei the second Asante-Hene, the first formally educated Asante-Hene to ascend the stool in 1931, and through the date of his hard work, was able to restore the Confederacy, which had been disbanded in 1896, in 1935. Immediately upon ascending the stool, he felt that our modes needed to change. So, perhaps our children were going to school, and for that matter, they were not getting the tuition that they deserved and they had to have. He assembled other eminent people, the Sagrenti, the EK, the IK demands, and others, to give our history the benefit of being put down in writing, so as to remove the inconsistencies and the contradictions that attend to transmitting history orally. This was indeed a formidable task which lasted several years. And it is a happy coincidence that he had Professor Thomas Kaski, an eminent son of Asante, who though he's been with Ashanti for over 50 years, since he came to Ashanti in 1968. Virtually a year passes without his coming down to us and writing about Ashanti and all our histories and everything. And Professor Makaski has accepted to edit this book. And this is a veritable history of Ashanti from our own perspectives, without any biases, without any contradictions, and without any enlargements or any diminutions. And the second aspect of the program would be to auction the book. And I'm sure that you have come down with your big pockets and with your fact check books, so as to give the auction the necessary support that it deserves. I'm sure that those of you who will buy at the highest price will have autographed copies by Otumfuo himself. So, as I said earlier, I welcome you. I think I've said a few things, and if my few is not enough, I think I'll take leave and then give the floor to our eminent MC to continue the program. Thank you all very much for coming, and we hope you will enjoy the opportunity this morning. Thank you very much.
These wise and warm words of welcome have set the tone for a long day of reflections, learnings, and insights. Please help me appreciate once again the job in winning the chair of the Council of State and
Education in the person of the former Chief Justice, Enim Yeboah. Thank you very much.
And now, my Lord Justice, the Chair, your audience.
Your Royal Majesty, the Otumfuo Osei Tutu, the Honorable Regional Minister, the Honorable Members, Honorable Ministers of State, the Vice Chancellor, Nanano, Mahini, Aprimpong, the linguist, the Vice Chancellor and the Pro-Vice Chancellor, the members of the Academia, herein present, eminent members.
Nana Otumfuo, Nana Num, distinguished guests, and the public, I'm very honored indeed to make this short presentation about the Sagrenti War. I want to start very quickly with a review of the reign of Kwekadu Agyeman, who died in 1867. The reason I'm doing this is simple. Kwekadu Agyeman was the most pernickety and stickler sort of man when it came to the law. He is known as Kwekadu Anansi, Kwekadu Wise, he is known as Agyeman Bambuo. He was somebody who really enforced the laws of Asante. In the process, he gathered together a great deal of money in gold dust, principally, but also in specie and other things. And I say all this because I want to underline and emphasize something that I think is being overlooked. When Nana Kwekadu Agyeman died in 1867, he left behind a very great deal of money. And I will give you some idea of this. The money was stored in three places. It was stored in the Adaka Cache, the great chest of the treasury. It was stored in the Asante country palace at Abarasto, and it was stored elsewhere at Breman. The sums involved, I've been able to calculate because we know the dimensions of the Adaka Cache, and with assistance from members of the British Mint, chemists, engineers, the kind of people who could know about the science of gold and the measurement of gold and all the rest of it. We have calculated that the amount of gold contained in the Adakashi alone at Kwekadu's death was in excess of 400,000 ounces. Now, the 100,000 ounces in 1867 were worth 1.2 million pounds sterling. But you know what's happened to gold in our lifetime. The contemporary, the current value of the Adaka Cache is somewhere over 2 billion pounds. A lot of money. Now he left this money to his successor, Kofi Kakari. And Kofi Kakari was a waster. He distributed money to buy popularity, and he was eventually dethroned at the end of the Sagrenti War. I'll come to the war in a moment, but let me simply say that, to underline what I've already said, that the attempt to get back the treasures looted from Kumasi by Sir Garnet Wolseley in 1874 takes no account, because it cannot, of the gold in gold dust and unworked gold that the British must have carried away with them. We don't know about this. Of course we don't know, because it was loot, private loot, and so it is separate from the cultural artifacts that Nana Otumfuo is trying to retrieve for the Asante man and retrieve for the Republic of Ghana. Now, the war itself is often referred to generally as a colonial war, one of Britain's first colonial wars. But we can refine that a little. We can refine it, in fact, quite a lot. In the 1860s and 1870s, Britain came to realize that it did not have a first-class army. In fact, it was an army composed of people, rather like in the 18th century, who had bought their commissions. And this had to change, and change it did, and the leader of this change was Sir Garnet Wolseley.